We are live.
How are you today?
So we've not actually been live for a week and a half, I think.
A week and a bit, yes.
Been fairly busy and distracted with other things, but we
we're
are here now.
And we're in a good mood today.
Very good mood today. So, first of all, what we're just going to quickly cover is our map tier. So lots of people that support the channel and help the channel grow, they pledge via patreon.com/the Kilted Coaches, and they get their name and an avatar up on the board. Now, I need to send my apologies to Anne from the clan. So Anne is on here and she has sent in her avatar. However, I am not sorted it completely yet. So, Anne, my apologies. We've got your avatar, we need to cut it out and stick it on there, but you are there.
So rather than avatar, you get a special how you doing?
How you doing? But basically as well, what I'm going to do again is I'm going to do a nice video like I did last time where it'll be nice close up and we'll go across the world map giving everybody that is pledged credit to be there.
So you'll see that next week. We'll put that up onto the Facebook and the YouTube.
Yes, so if you want to join the map tier, go to patreon.com/the Kilted Coaches. And we'll see who is on today.
Just to make sure we get the comments up.
Yeah, so we use our phones and our iPads for it.
Paulina's first on. Hi!
Hey. So today we're going to be doing a weight loss Q&A. So fire the questions, we'll do our best to answer them as quickly as we can.
Special shout out to one of our clan members.
Yeah.
Beth, you're awesome.
So we've done the story about the hands many times. In fact,
In fact, before we open this, let's just show everybody else the hands. They're always in our sporns.
For a minute there, I thought my daughter would take it out.
Yeah.
So these are little hands. We've done a story in these many a times.
So we're not going to cover that today, but ultimately, normal size things and small hands boost confidence.
Yeah.
Makes the other things look bigger.
Yeah.
For instance, if I put this bottle cap in this little hand, all of a sudden it looks like a giant bottle cap because it's on a small hand, right?
What else could you put in that small hand?
What could I put in a small hand?
Some of our clan members suggested that our little hands should also have little hands.
Yes,
And,
and awesome client Beth. There we are.
There we go. Oh, my hand down.
Beth sourced us these.
3, 2, 1.
Ta-da! So it's a little hand with little hands.
Quite possibly one of the creepiest things I've ever
That
seen,
is,
to be honest.
that's like
with you.
something from a horror
It
movie.
really is, isn't it?
So, normally a little hand gives you a boost of confidence. So I'm going to take this extra tiny little hand and I'll see you in 10 minutes.
They call that the stranger. So, weight loss Q&A today, so please fire any of your questions that are weight loss related and we will do our very best to
Anne from the clan is on, and by the looks of that, yoo-hoo! She's quite happy with her. How you doing?
How you doing?
But you will get an avatar up on the board as soon as we get on top of that.
Yes.
Joey Gatlon's on.
Joey.
Susan Hurst. Hey, Susan's our new clan member. Joe Byers is on.
Sheila's Johnny saying, so creepy those blooming hands. I actually think the hands with hands is very, very creepy. You're right, it's like a horror movie or something, isn't it?
Yes, it's really weird.
Right, so we've got a first sort of weight loss question. Jobert Ian Majika, I have a belly. What can you do to lose the belly? I'm 29 and I'm clueless to what I'm doing in the gym.
Just before we answer this, do you remember, I can't even remember, was it a Reebok advert? Belly's gonna
get you, that's right.
That was like something from a horror movie as well.
Yeah,
It was like
chasing down the street.
And ultimately it was a belly just chasing this guy down the street and he was like running away with his Reeboks on.
Yeah,
so it was a Reebok advert, but you're like, man, that's actually quite creepy. It's like, belly's gonna get you. Like run away from the belly. So anyway, so to answer your question, get your Reeboks on and start running.
Yeah. Are we Holly Dolly's on so she can get away with all the hands?
Hey.
Because she sent lots of hands in our wave, to be fair. She did 6 hands. We've actually got 6 hands too.
6 hands.
Yeah, 6 hands, there you go. Yeah, so to lose the belly, depends on what you're doing already. If you aren't doing any resistance training, we would strongly suggest getting some heavy weights and getting some compound movements. Those are big energy busters, not just while you're training, but for hours afterwards. So the stress that you place in your body doing these big movements continues to burn large amount of calories for longer later.
Just again, I don't know your personal situation, but if you're specifically mentioning just the belly, then what we might look at, and again, anybody listening to this can take this information as well, but if you're storing more of your body fat around your midsection, the sort of love handle areas, not generally speaking, not always the case, but generally speaking, it means that you've got high insulin levels, which basically means that you're eating fast-release carbohydrates, sugars, without doing exercise. Like if you do a bunch of exercise, then actually sometimes it's beneficial to have quick-release sugars straight after exercise, especially if you're doing sort of weight training and whatnot. You want this quick energy back into the muscles. But if you're not training, doing some intense training, then try and avoid your quick-release sugars, because what that does is increases your insulin levels. The insulin grabs hold of the sugars and ultimately pushes it into fat cells, specifically around the midsection. So if you find yourself getting a bit of a belly, you might find that you're having too much bread products like bagels, bread itself, bases and tortilla wraps and crisps and things like that, couscous, pasta, anything like that.
Yeah. So that's your first one.
Boom.
Now I saw with my keen eye on YouTube, Susan Hurst is on.
Yeah, I said Susan.
Oh, did you?
Did you not hear me?
Sorry, Susan.
I said Susan Hurst is on. She's one of our latest plan members.
That's right. Yeah.
Yes.
So hi, Susan. I did not hear Stephen give me a call out.
How can I? There's Susan asking a question. Let's answer a question. How can I get enough protein? I'm a carnivore, but I can only eat so much meat. Lactose intolerant, so there's no dairy. So Susan, it starts with just focusing in on having a good portion of protein at breakfast, lunch and dinner. Now we might start talking about numbers and whatnot, but the bottom line is, are you having a sort of fist size or a hand size amount of, if you're a carnivore, then some sort of meat, good quality meat as well. But like I say, a chicken breast is your average portion size, so are you having a chicken breast size portion of protein at your breakfast, lunch and dinner? And if not, then let's start there.
Another thing you could do and look into, I know you said you're lactose intolerant, but you can look into supplementation, so you could get some vegetable protein and make shakes. I think one of the ones you use is pea protein, is that correct? Or
pea protein, but it doesn't taste very good. There's a couple out there that are okay.
Right.
But yeah, you want to be looking at sort of vegetarian sort of protein powders. Ultimately, the ones that don't taste good, you should try and make smoothies out of them. Yeah. So, and actually we recommend this anyway, whether you're lactose intolerant or not, if you're going for a protein powder, whether it's a whey protein from dairy, or pea protein, or vegetarian or vegan protein, the best thing you can do is, rather than just mixing a powder with milk or water, the best thing you can do is get as much nutrition into that shake as possible. So buy one of these little personal blenders. It's like your bottle actually screws onto the blender itself, then you just take it off, unscrew the cap, put your top on and away you go. But then you can put a bunch of stuff in, like frozen berries is your sort of fail-safe, because it masks the flavour of the protein. Get some greens in there, you can then you can put a little bit of sweetness in there, you can put some avocado in to make it a little bit creamier, you can put bananas in there to give it a bit more carbs if you want more carbs. There's a bunch of stuff that you can basically make up a protein shake, a protein smoothie with these protein powders. And depending on your personal circumstances, if you've just finished training, you might want a little bit extra carbs in there, like bananas, you put some oats in there, or if you've not just trained and you'd rather try and minimise the sugars and the carbs from it, then what you can do is you can make it more fat orientated. So get some avocado in there, put some peanut butter in there, and it makes it a much slower release. So that you can make things up depending on your own tastes and your own circumstances.
Jeez. Now, Karen Anderson saying, I need help with my lower stomach. It hangs following C-sections. So, first of all, if you haven't been, I'm assuming that you've not had any sections recently and you're clear to exercise again. What you want to start doing is building up your core in general. So starting off things like planks or even basic floor Pilates. Get the strength build up there as well. Attacking sort of an ab routine that can add weight into there if possible to try and build up the stomach muscles underneath. Because remember, when you've had a section, it's been sliced right through. And it's also very important that you rewire those muscles with pre-activation. We actually did a video on it called How to Fix Your Lower Back Pain.
Yeah, we specifically mentioned after pregnancy.
After pregnancy, yeah. So those movements, basically what they do is, when you've had a section, occasionally what can happen is that because it's cut through the muscle, your brain rewires the muscles in the area to do, like when you're sitting up, it'll maybe utilise more, the back muscles rather than the abs and so on and so forth. So you need to tell your body again, no, these are the ones we want to do, because there are people that have had sections that are doing lots and lots of crunches but never feel it in their stomach, and that's because they're not wired up right.
Yeah.
So they need to rewire.
A really good exercise to go through now. I think it's common for everyone. I want to get to the gym and I work really hard, so they'll do heavy squats and heavy deadlifts, and they'll do running and they'll do swimming and they'll do crunches, but they're never really fully engaging, like Rab says, rewiring. So a good exercise to go through, and you should actually do this on a daily basis. In fact, whether you've had kids or not, this is a good exercise to go through. Get yourself, get your top off in front of a full-length mirror, or at least so you can see your stomach, and just play around with the movement of your stomach. You should be able to control your stomach. I'm going to lift on my top for a wee second. So,
look at this guy,
so if I relax, okay, so I had a very light breakfast this morning, I've had a few drinks and whatnot, so not exactly flat, but we're kind of there, right? So watch this, you know? And so just standing, this is going to be weird.
Come on, what was his last time he was flicking his spawn?
Can you belly dance, right? Can you belly dance? But ultimately, just stand in front of the mirror and just say, okay, can I hold it in as much as I can and do this while trying to breathe and talk normally? Can you do this? And then can you let it go? Can you pull it in at the sides? Can you move it in from the top, and then can you move it in from the bottom? You know, you can do different things. Start playing around with these different things, because what you're going to start to do is you're rewiring all these muscles that are responsible for giving you this flat stomach. Try and hold it in. Like if you're wearing a bikini and you're on the beach and some who's like Brad Pitt walks past, right? Brad Pitt's walking past, bit suave, he's got his swagger going on, he's got his sunnies on, and he looks over in your direction. You're going to go and you're going to hold your belly in, okay? So that's called the transversus abdominis, and it's like a big sort of corset-like muscle that goes across your stomach. That's one of the first things you want to be engaging before you then start doing crunches and whatnot, because you start to activate this area. So play around with it and just stand in front of a mirror and just practice, rather than just going through a movement where your body can cheat. Think about feeling your muscles.
Feel those muscles.
You feel the muscles.
A YouTube question this time. We're going to try our best to jump between Facebook and YouTube with the questions, so it's all fair.
So Joe Byers is saying, can't stress the importance of cortisol and how it affects weight loss, and how it hinders weight loss because of stress. That's more of a statement, but I can delve into that slightly, Joe.
When you're stressed, cortisol messes with everything. Absolutely. There's people that are very, very stressed. Sometimes people can be stressed, they don't eat and they lose weight, but then that's not exactly the best way to do things. But there's other times you can be you feel like you're in a healthy place because you're training ridiculously hard, you're getting some nutrition, but then you're not getting enough rest. And what happens is people get stressed out and say, but I'm not losing any weight, I'm doing all this training, and then what they've done is although they're starting to feel stressed mentally, their body is so stressed, the cortisol levels are so high that their body is just not going to shift those pounds. So being mindful of that, which is very, very important about rest. That's why we say rest and recovery. It's also got to chill the beat out as well.
What you've got to consider about your stress hormones, cortisol is kind of slightly different, but ultimately it falls in the same category. Cortisol and adrenaline, norepinephrine, you know, things like this. So when we're stressed, like historically, again, go back thousands of years, if I was to have like a big caveman like Rab, his big traps, like big shoulders, and he's like, I need food, you're going to steal my food, I'm going to have you, and he's going to come chase me with his big club, right? I'm going to go, "Ugh!" and I'm going to run off, right? So then my cortisol levels are going to kind of raise up that allow me to run as fast as I possibly can. What this does, it then hinders the different processes in the body and changes your brain chemistry. So you can't think about, you know, what you had for breakfast yesterday. You can't think about what you want to have for your dinner tonight. All you're thinking about is, I need to run as fast as I can. And you're activating different parts of your brain. What it also does, it deactivates, or it sends all the blood flow away from your digestive system. Like, you're not going to be bothered trying to digest food. If somebody else is chasing you, like, no, all the energy is going into the working muscles. So this all the cortisol, adrenaline is basically giving you as much energy as you can, and the focus just to run away. I'm faster than Rab when it comes to a sprint, therefore I'm like, I'm off and I'm done. Therefore my cortisol levels can come down and everything can go back to normal. Rab doesn't get fed and I save my life, right? But then at that point I can then start relaxing. Like, oh, that was a close call. I relax, forget about it, it's cool. And all my system goes back to normal, start digesting my food, my brain chemistry go back to normal. In modern life, cortisol then just fires again and again and again because you've got too many emails, or you've got money worries, or your wife hates you, or your kids are screaming at you. There's always something. And so then we've always got this sort of low level cortisol level that's just playing havoc with all these different systems. So the best thing you can do is find your happy place, activate, try and get in some training, like try try and get this acute stress if you can. So like cold showers, fasting.
That was
can help
acute stress, not cute stress.
Acute stress.
you wee
acute
stressy
stress,
there.
It's a bit of a stress, but it's cute.
Yeah, it's acute wee stress.
So so seek out acute stresses like training in the gym, cold showers, fasting are some of the main ones, and then try to then meditate, do yoga, go for long walks, talk to friends, to then just get this low level stresses and cortisol levels away from your systems.
We'll jump on the Facebook. So Levi Allen saying, advice on losing underarm flab. Now that's your classic, what they used to call bingo wings. First of all, I tend to notice people are flexing the wrong way when they're testing their underarm. They do that, and then they start flicking, right? But that's right, flicking by the way. When you flex, putting the arm in that direction, your bicep is flexing, the tricep is not. If you really want to test underarm flap, you straighten the arm as much as you can, and then you flick it there. Okay? So, if you've got excess skin there, that suggests you're perhaps heavier before and you've lost some weight. What you can do is try your best to build up the tricep muscles. Now, triceps are involved in all pushing movements, whether it's bench press, shoulder press. You can even isolate it with a tricep press movement. And they can take quite a pounding.
After the flicking, you mean?
After the flicking, they can take quite a pounding. So, generally what you want to think of is that the skin's there, and it might recede slightly, but ultimately if you build up the muscle underneath, it'll pull it tight again. And when they feel there's more muscle there, when you feel that, even if there was a little bit excess skin, psychologically you feel like your muscle's bigger and therefore it's sitting tighter. So advice is build up the triceps, look at some tricep workouts. We've got some tricep routines on our channel, or if you're a member of our clan, you can get routines that way. By the way, we've got a 7-day free trial. We'll just get that in there. So if you are looking to lose weight, head over to our website and you can try our weight loss product. The clan itself has everything in there: workouts, nutrition, recipes, and our 12-week weight loss product, all for, what is it now? Well, there's different.
It's different tiers. Ultimately, $20 a month is really where we're at. But the 7-day free trial just allows you to start everything. Get the first week, we call it the launch pad, because it just sets you up. It sets your mind in the right place and gets you started with everything. So if you're fancy getting into fitness and losing a little bit of weight, then free trial. And you know what, if you don't like it by the end of the 7 days, you say, do you know what, this is not quite the right format for me, then just send us an email or send Susie in the office an email. You'll have her email address anyway when you sign up.
All the instructions are there. I mean, there's even just yesterday someone signed up and then they realised it wasn't for them, and that's fine. But then last week we had about an extra 30 people sign up, and they're all doing very, very well. So if it's for you, try it and stick it. If you realise it's not for you, that's fine.
And we're not going to hate you if you leave. You know, just sign up and see how you get on. Triceps, plank up and downs, killer. Lauren Lee. So Lauren was the plank up downs are it's a tough exercise, but by all means do them on your knees initially. It's a great exercise. One for toning your core because you're constantly just moving around, so it's the abs, the obliques get fired up, but then the arms and the triceps because you're constantly up and down. It's really good exercise.
It's funny, there's a movement you can do as well in a plank position, which is like a reach and tap. You put weight out in front, and it's the one movement that I'm sometimes wary of giving it to my clients, especially if they've got big mean husbands, because when they're doing the reach and taps, they always end up with like burnt elbows. And then the husband like, what happened to your elbows? Oh, carpet burns with wrap. It's a bit questionable sometimes, but well, they work. Joanne
Woods, I'm a horse riding accident. I had a horse riding accident years ago and broke my left shoulder. Broke my left. Should be careful. How should I start building my left after physio? Is that your left shoulder? I don't know. Leg? Maybe? I don't know. When it comes to specific injuries, the best thing you can do is see a physiotherapist, and they'll actually give you specific exercises based on your injury. But generally speaking, I would say just looking at try and get unilateral exercises. So if you go to the gym, for instance, and you just do a basic bench press machine, then what you're going to look at is your muscles sort of work together, so your strong side can take over from the left side, from the weak side. So always try to build up some big compound movements, but always unilateral. So do like dumbbells are going to be better than a barbell because your arms have to work independently. If you're doing leg work, do like lunges because your legs have to work independently. Try and work both sides of your body.
Okay, Adam G's got a good question. He says, I'm gaining pounds, I don't eat a lot. Could it be coffee and creamer? So Adam, sometimes when people say they don't eat a lot, there's a hand-mouth gap. So it might be, you would have to seriously look down and analyse how many calories you are consuming. Are you in fact not eating a lot, or is there a lot of things that you don't realise you're eating? So that's the first step. The second one you might have to analyse, if you genuinely are not eating a lot, you might have shot your metabolism. So if you don't eat a lot over a long period of time, your body adapts and it starts to run on less calories. Then what happens is you start to sabotage muscle, and it becomes this endless cycle of your body getting rid of it, because muscle's very, very greedy. It needs a lot of calories just to be maintained. So if you're not using it and not eating a lot to maintain it, your body gets rid of the muscle, and then effectively the calories you're bringing in might actually be putting you into calorie positive, which, you know, if you're plus 300 calories every single day, which if you're not moving around much or depending on your lifestyle, over 12 days, that's a whole pound of actual body weight fat that you'll put on, which is quite significant. So again, look at your diet. Are you genuinely not eating enough because your metabolism might be shot, or are you eating more than you realise? And that's where food diary is quite good that way, if you're very, very strict with it.
It's certainly very common for people to come in and see us for personal training, and you look at their diet and they're literally having 1,000 calories a day and not losing weight. Therefore it tells you that they're only burning 1,000 calories per day. And if it's, say it's for females, the average is 2,000, for a male it's 2,500 per day. If you're only burning 1,000 per day, you've got to think, okay, well, why is it slowed down that much? So yeah, there's a bunch of things that happen, but ultimately your overall calorie expenditure just drops, and it's not a good thing.
Got one on YouTube? Try to jump between Facebook and YouTube with the questions.
There's a wee comment. Joe's just saying, love the way the plan lets you advance as you can. It really helped because of my asthma. So yeah, we actually got a bunch of questions in about, is this suitable for me? I've got asthma, or I've got, I'm a bit elderly, so you know, am I going to be able to do it? The plan allows you to adapt different things. In fact, one of our client members was actually, was it Susan? Yeah, it was. Susan was asking because she was like, oh, I don't think I'm ready for this, or I'm struggling with this bit here.
Yeah, looking for variations.
Ultimately, the bottom line is, if you want to see results in your weight loss, look for progress. It doesn't matter where you're starting from, whether you're an absolute beginner and you're struggling to get through a workout, or you're a bit more advanced. Then just look at where you are and say, right, what is the next logical step that I can take? How can I, if I can't do that workout, how can I bring it back a stage so that I can do it? Or if you can do it, how can I improve? Because we've actually had somebody before in the past who had done one of our workouts, and we're like, yeah, it's a little bit too easy for me because I've done this and this and this in the past. I'm like, well, that's great. Let's add to it. Let's do more reps, or let's do it for a little bit more time. Let's do it twice round. You know, there's a bunch of things that you can do, but more often than not, people are looking for ways to regress, and yeah, ultimately you're looking at where you are and you're just taking the next logical step.
You're going to love the next name, but she actually has a very good question. So, Spud McGee. Sorry.
We shouldn't laugh at that.
It must be a made up name, right? Let's be fair. What about losing weight without a gym subscription? I have a young child with me 24/7. I try loads of, we can't see, oh, maybe we can. Try loads of walking, but meh. Can fat people run without knackering their knees? Been interested a while. Now, you've asked the question to the right guys, because all of our workouts and routines are designed to be done anywhere. So, yes, if you can't get to the gym or get childcare, you can do your workout absolutely anywhere.
Our old program used to just be body weight alone. You do it at home, in your front room, or in your garden, or your bedroom, or wherever. And what we realised, since we revamped it because we realised that we couldn't quite get some of the body parts that were necessary.
A lot of the pulling movements are hard.
Yeah. How do you pull something without any equipment? Pushing's easy.
We never needed any equipment back in the day, oh boy.
Oh, equipment helps sometimes. No, how do you pull without equipment? Pushing's easy because you can do push-ups and tricep dips and whatnot, but pulling's a little bit more difficult unless you're using bands or whatnot. So we agreed that actually we're going to encourage people to buy a kettlebell, or 2 kettlebells at the weight of your choosing, but we do give you some recommendations. I think 8 kilograms for females and 12 kilograms for men. 2 kettlebells will literally take up that much space in your house. Yeah. You can use them as door stops, you can put them on a cupboard when you're not using them, but they are so effective, and we've based the whole program just on these little kettlebells. And a kettlebell costs you £20.
Depending on how small your child is, you could just swing your child around, right?
You could.
Yeah.
If they're small enough, you swing.
Seriously, Spuddle, our routine, you've got a 7-day free trial. You're very welcome. Go across to our website, thekiltedcoaches.com. All the information's there. You can sign up and try our 7-day free trial. All the workouts in there are designed to be done either in your home or outside. You don't need a gym subscription. Go and give it a go. See if it's for you. You'll get all your nutrition. There's lots of workouts there, recipes, mindset, and then you'll also get access to our clan community, which is our private Facebook group, which we're very, very fond of actually. And everybody supports each other and has different ideas and shares a lot. It's really, really nice.
When we first set up the clan group, we actually thought, right, people need a place that they can go and just ask questions, and we can nip in, we can answer the questions, make sure everyone's okay. But the way it's transpired is that we've set up this group, and because our long-standing clan members have gone through everything, and even the ones who are just going into it and maybe a few lessons in front of other newbies come in, people come in, ask questions, and anybody who's got the answer jump straight on, no, do this or do that, and if they don't know, no, you've got to just email Susie for this, or no, if you just email the coaches or tag us in, or and more often than not, we will come to the group, and there's just nice conversations going on. It's a really cool place to be.
Because it's very often somebody asks a question within the group, and someone else will pop up that maybe asked the very same question 3 months ago, like, I had the same problem and this is what they told me to do, and then blah blah blah. So it's always nice to get different opinions that maybe suit your lifestyle more, which is great.
So Holly Cunningham, who's actually Mystic Magic 4760, I just wanted to thank you for the helpful info and inspiration. I've lost 22 pounds so far. Holly,
congratulations, Holly.
Well done. Absolutely fantastic.
Mitchell Oxford saying, as a beginner that hasn't been in the gym, what is your suggestions for a first timer? Are you planning to go into a gym? Because if you are, and you've not been into a gym, that's what you're planning to do as a first timer. Go in, speak to a fitness advisor or a personal trainer, get them to take you around the machines, make a program for you, or if you can afford it, take some training so you get a professional to show you how it's done. If you're planning to, if you're a first timer and you want to just do training on your own, then you want to start looking into sort of straightforward movements at the start using body weight so you don't get injured. Make sure your posture's right, plenty of stretches, warm up, cool down.
This is actually what our 7-day program is ideal for, because what we do is we give you the first workout, we also give you the warm up and cool down routines, which are actually so valuable. Just having some sort of routine that takes you 5 to 10 minutes that you can do every single day. Go and sign up for our 7-day free course. If you don't like it by the end of 7 days, make sure you just email us. We'll cancel everything before you get the payment on. And but you can just get the first basic steps, and you get the head in gear as well. You understand what you're trying to do, why you're trying to do it. You know, understanding the ins and outs of what you're going to go through. It's a really good 7 days. So I'd advise doing something like that just to get your head in gear and get some of the basic warm-up exercises so that you're ready for exercise.
Ready for exercise.
Yeah.
Is there any other on the?
Hey guys from Hawaii.
Hawaii. Aloha Hawaii. I want to hug Rab. Who's that? Marcus? 6. No. What does that say?
I want to hug Rab. Marcus 8724.
Oh.
I want to hug Rab. Flick haggis, neeps and tatties with large whiskey. I don't know what that means, but it sounds cool.
Sergio Vega, I love Irish people. Well, that's quite a statement, but you do realise we're Scottish. I mean, that's a fantastic statement. We love Irish people too.
Good for you.
Good job. Mitch Hawks was saying, thank you for the advice. I will check into getting a personal trainer. You'll be in good hands there, Mitchell. You will be. Just follow the advice and take it easy. As long as you've got the right trainer. Do your homework on the trainers in the gym.
A lot of people say, oh, you know, make sure you do your homework on the personal trainers. Make sure you've got the right qualifications and make sure you've got the good experience. Do you know, one of the main things you should look for in a personal trainer is that you get on with them, you know, you like them, you trust them, you respect them.
Yeah.
Because there's a lot of dicks out there who like to think they know what they're doing, and they'll talk to you as if they're like a god and this, that and other. The first thing you should look for is, do they make you smile and do they make you relax? Because if you're going to see this person on a regular basis, you've got to look forward to going. If you're dreading going because the guy's a bit of a dick, then you're going to resent going to the gym, and you're going to have this negative relationship with all gyms. So when you seek out a personal trainer, speak to a few, just see who makes you smile and who you trust and who you're actually going to listen to.
Will we take one more?
Yep. Cheryl, I'm going to start over again, still having knee pain, but I can do the other exercises that don't involve the legs. Cheryl,
my favourite Texan, Cheryl, you're awesome.
I want to get fit, losing weight as an added bonus. Shona Guthrie, Good. Getting fit and getting healthy, being happy
Yep.
is the key.
Yeah, being key. That's funny. So Anne Lambert saying the queue to hug Rab just starts behind me. I could do with lots of hugs today, actually. Yeah, let's get the queue going. Happy days.
How about a hug of many hands?
Many hands make light work, apparently, right? Jess Moore, hey guys, good to see you on live again. I have to head back to work. See you on Instagram. Yeah.
See you on Instagram.
Yeah.
Who else is on Instagram?
Yes, if you're on Instagram, come and follow us.
Go to the Kilted Coaches on Instagram, and then both our personal profiles are then linked on that page, so you can follow all three and you get a mixture of everything.
Right, well, we call it then today.
We'll call it.
Well, thank you very much for tuning in. Again, if you are interested in losing weight and you would like to try our program, you can do. All the information is on the website at thekiltedcoaches.com, and you can take advantage of a 7-day free trial if you think it's for you.
No hassle at all. Sign up, and we'll see you in the Facebook group if you do.
All right, guys, have a great end of the week.
Bye bye for now.
Bye.